Hello, gorgeous humans. I am so thrilled to have you all here. I am going to be hanging out for the next hour or so, and I'm here to answer any questions that you have about creativity, business, productivity, how I've created and written globally best-selling books that have been used by over 500,000 people worldwide now, which is just amazing. And how I've built a business that's brought in over $13 million in 10 hours a week. I also adore talking about philanthropy and making gorgeous things and all the other things. So I'm here and I'm here to answer any of your questions. As always, I want to begin by acknowledging that I live and work and create on the lands of the Gubbi Gubbi people, who are the traditional and ongoing custodians of the lands and seas where I am. And I want to pay my respects to their elders past, present, and emerging. And because we're spread out all across the globe, I want to do the same to the traditional custodians of the lands and seas where you are, and their elders also. If you are not sure who the traditional custodians are, of where you are, if you go to native-land.ca, you can find it there. If you could put in the comments the traditional custodian's name in there, that would be beautiful. It's just a really important act of honouring. And here in Australia, First Nations people say it makes the spirits of the lands happy to hear it as well. So blessings all around. Now this is going across to YouTube and Facebook groups as well. I can see all of your comments. Feel free to ask me any questions you like in the comments, and I'll be able to clicky wicky on them and answer them for you. Tracy, my mate Tracy, says, I finally joined the Academy. So good inside. Oh, it makes me so happy. And we just love making even more support and resources to make it just the essential spot for anybody who is growing a business. For those who are not aware of what the Academy is, I have my Brilliant Biz and Life Academy. It is open for enrollments for the next less than 2 hours, and it's the place where you can get all of my courses and workshops and books and ongoing coaching and guest experts and done for you templates and resources. And it's over $5,000 in value, and you can get it for under $100 a year, which is super rad. I would just want to make it the most accessible, no-brainer decision for anybody who's looking to start or grow a business. So if you go to leoniedawson.com/academy, you'll be able to find that out until we close the list for Academy as well. Zeta says, sick cat, baby. Thank you, my doll. Zeta is my assistant, for those wondering. She likes to come on here and troll me. I wasn't planning on wearing a hat today, but it is cold. Well, Queensland cold. And I can't find my beanie. And so I was like, sweet Jesus, this is where we're at today. My ears are cold. And so I will I will warm the ears with a frog hat. So I haven't put it on for the live stream. I've been wearing it for a couple of hours now, and I just played cards with my husband as well, so he could feel like he was playing Monopoly Deal against Kermit the Frog. Very important. April says, I love the Academy. I'm so glad I was able to join. Oh, my love, I'm thrilled you're here. If you're in the Academy as well, I just released a new workshop in there called How to Deal with Trolls and Criticism in Your Business. And there's companion worksheets as well in there, and I'm really fucking proud of them. I'm really thrilled, and I've got so much beautiful feedback about it already, which is so exciting, especially from people who are just like, oh, I'm so glad that you talk about this, because it's like the thing that a lot of people don't want to admit that happens. And so when it does happen to you as a business owner, whether you get trolled or you get criticism, I can't talk as freely with my Kermit on. My ears, so cold. Anyway, so when it does happen that you get criticism or trolling, you feel really alone in it, and it can feel so you can feel so much shame. And of course, shame thrives in secrecy, it thrives in isolation. And as soon as you can start talking about it and telling other people and recognizing that you're not alone in this, it can help tremendously. So I'm really thrilled to kind of have that workshop there for anytime anybody goes through trolling or online criticism. And there's definitely like a really important difference. I talk about this in the workshop, but there's a difference between trolling and receiving criticism. It's like there's some criticism can be completely valid and very useful feedback for your business and needs to be paid attention to, and you can adjust or improve yourself or your business and the way you're approaching things. And then there's different levels of it. I go through this in the workshop of like trying to discern what is just straight up trolling and what is useful feedback, and what's somebody who is unsure and questioning, what is somebody who's just being an asshole on the internet. So I'll go through all of that in the workshop. So if you've ever gone through trolling or get online criticism or just criticism in general in your business, that workshop is for you. That's new, Kemi. Julie says, have you ever felt shame after burnout? How did you get past it? I don't know if I have felt shame around like creative burnout or business burnout, because I think I having done this for so long now, I know that it's actually kind of a part of the creative process. And what our job to do is to kind of lessen the blow of that and, attempt to prevent it before it happens. And sometimes it's just not possible for that to happen. I've definitely received shaming comments from people when I have burnt out. People saying, well, why should I even bother learning from you then if you get so burnt out? It's like, well, it doesn't invalidate the business and marketing and creativity and productivity advice that I've got. I'm very honest about what I'm going through, and I'm very honest about the lessons that I've had to learn along the way to be creative and to run a business. And I think where I felt the most amount of shame is in when I get burnout from being a parent, because I think there's definitely like one, there's a cultural thing, but there's definitely for me an ancestral thing that as a mother you do not burn out. You should just receive joy every single moment. Bless it. So like my mum always used to say, like, oh, I just feel so sad when people have postnatal depression. Like, don't they just realize that every single moment with children is pure joy? Jesus Christ, thank you so much for setting up such unreal expectations of what it is to be a mother. So I definitely had to like unwind a lot of that process of like, it is okay for me to get burnt out and to need alone time and to have self-care as a mother. In fact, it's really, really important. And I love that I get to model that for my kids. I love that my children, like, they know if I am getting overstimulated because, they've seen it so often. And I'll also tell them like, oh, I'm feeling really overstimulated now. And so they advocate for me now. They're like, oh, Mum, like, you seem overwhelmed. Why don't you go lay down and read a book? And they're definitely like also doing it because it means that they can go play Minecraft. Like, I do want to be clear about that. My children are also fucking smart. But I love that they're like, oh, this is great. This is where Mum taps out because she needs to. And also, if she's being a bit of a bitch, then she needs to have a lay down and she'll get better. So, yeah, it's a tricky one. It's a real tricky one. And I just want you to know it's completely normal to experience burnout, especially if you are a parent, a mother, if you are a femme, if you a caregiver, if you are in business, if you are a creative, if you are neurodivergent, burnout does kind of come in handy. Like it just comes in hand with that, you know. So yeah, I don't think we need to feel shame about it. We can just talk about it and talk about ways that we can make it suck less and prevent it from happening. Oh, by the way, I do have, funnily enough, thank you for asking me this, but I do have a how to heal and prevent burnout training bundle in the academy as well. What don't I have in the academy, guys? What don't I have? Like we're adding in like 3 to 4 new courses every single, like courses and workshops, templates and stuff every single month. It's just going to be even more and more and blah, 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 blah. But it's only open for the next hour and 45 minutes. Under $100 a year. Tori says, any tips for regaining momentum in business after a slump and when life is hard? Oh, do I ever? The thing that is most helpful for me to remember is that that whole flywheel concept that Jim Collins talks about. So Jim Collins talks about when you are building a business, it is like you can just imagine this enormous stone plinth that is, 10 meters across and a foot deep, and how heavy that is, and it's balancing on a penis, something that goes upwards. And it's balancing on that, and then the whole job of like your job as a business owner is to start pushing this circle around, right? This massive stone circle. And when you are starting your business and when you have had to like step back from business and then come back in, there's no like momentum to it. And so getting this fucking thing to move is a lot of effort and a lot of sweat and tears and frustration. And then after you've done it, like each push you do is going to give a little bit more momentum. And so at a certain point, you'll be able to just stand there and just flick it around to keep the momentum going, just flick. And this is why it's often much, much, much easier for you to run a $1 million business than it is to start a business and get it to $10,000 a year or $40,000 a year. It's just like, fuck my life. The beginning stages of the business or coming back after time away is definitely like getting that momentum back is exhausting, deeply exhausting. But I just want you to know every single step you take, every push you make, I'll be watching, I'll be watching you. It will get easier and you will build that momentum back. And I have been there. I've absolutely been there. I've definitely had times in my business where I've stepped back to do other things like homeschooling my kids and that kind of stuff. And so I wasn't keeping the momentum up as much. And so when I come back to it, it's like, oh, fuck, now I have to like push harder. God damn. Bibi says, Leonie, I adore you. I love the Academy. I've been a member of your courses forever. I hope you'll come to the US. We love you. Oh, my love. I'm so thrilled to hear that. Thank you so much. Fiona says, I thought the frog hat was some Academy positioning. Hop to it. Doors close in less than 2 hours. That is freaking genius and way better than me just having cold ears and not being able to find my fucking beanie. Brilliant. Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. Hop to it, guys. You've got an hour and 40 minutes left to join the Academy before it closes. 4D therapy says, you explain everything so colorfully. I love this. I can't wait to get to the flick stage. Oh, the flick stage is fucking great. And then there's like parts of the business where like even if you've been keeping momentum up for a while, it's still a freaking process. Because something happens, some shit hits the fan, and so it takes time again. I'm gonna move to a couch. I can't be bothered sitting at a desk. Desks are for neurotypical people, and it's just not my jam whatsoever. Plus the sunlight near the window is much nicer. I am in our sunroom / library / I don't know if I was a posh person, I would call it our a formal lounge, but we're not those people, so it's just the hang zone. Oh, that sun's nice. Okay. Stacey says, I just want to thank you for existing, you beautiful human. As a wheelchair user who was diagnosed with autism and ADHD at 40, you're my business role model. Much love. Oh, my queen, let me try and do a love heart like a Gen Zer does and not a middle-aged person with hands that don't quite work in that way. Yeah, I like the late diagnosed live. There's definitely a vibe, right? It's definitely a vibe, and it means that we get to do business and life in a way that totally suits us, and if it can just be an enormous blessing as well. Oh, I do want to say, like, because I'm feeling a little bit self-conscious about this, is that I've got some pictures here that I did when the Lensa AI app came out last year, and I was like, whoa, and it became like a hyper focus for about 48 hours, and I made portraits of me and my little family and immediately got them printed, and now I'm like learn a little bit more about kind of the ethical implications of AI art in particular. And so like I'm like, maybe that was an incorrect choice. But then I love the pictures like so much, and they're already printed. So they're there. They're there. Every time I sit in this chair with a photo, like a camera on, I'm like, oh, that's right, I did that. And look how beautiful my family is. And also, oh God, who knows? I joined. I'm so grateful you reopened the academy. I missed out the last opening. I thought I'd have to wait a year. Yay, I'm in. Oh, I'm so thrilled. I'm so thrilled. We are going to have so much fun together. Mim says, Leonie, are you going to the Osmum conference this year? Please say yes. It's actually on my agenda. Once this launch closes, I have to go talk to my husband and see if we're going to be able to swing for me to come to that. That'd be super fucking cool if that was the case. And maybe speak at it would be really cool because I really love speaking. So we shall see. We shall see. If anyone in Australia, if you're a mum, I really recommend the Osmumpreneur conference as well. Peace and Katie run it, and it's just such a beautiful conference. I just went to the Heart-Centered Business Conference run by Tash Corbin, which was also muchos excellent. And I really do love these kind of femme-centric spaces that are intersectional and inclusive and thoughtful and just high value in terms of content. I have talked about, I blogged and hate streamed my way going through a success resources conference with Gary Vaynerchuk there. It was the worst fucking experience, and I hated it. And I hated like the absolute pitch fest that it was. So I'm really cautious about what I go to now. So Heart-Centered Business Conference is definitely the right spot for me, and Osmumpreneur as well. It's just a whole other vibe. It really is. Mim says, yay, that'd be so fucking cool. Yay. So thrilled. I hope your planner summit has been doing super well too, my friend. You are so brilliant. Jennifer says the Academy's worth it for so many reasons, but especially the sweary, snarky, rainbowific chat that is Leonie. Babes, always here, always here. And I just I am incapable of lying about stuff. Like I'm incapable of not just saying exactly what I think about a situation. Like I went to the success resources and I was so hopeful. I told everyone beforehand, I'm going to live illustrate this conference, follow along. And I get there and I'm like, oh no, this is fucked. And I hate every second of this. And this is so unethical. And so I ended up just streaming that instead because I can't pretend can't pretend. I was talking to a friend yesterday about just some amazing results that other people in the industry were getting. And my friend said to me, "You do realize that some people don't actually tell the truth about their numbers, right?" And I was like, "What?" She's like, "Leonie, like some of them do fudge." Then I was like, "What? Are you kidding me?" I'm so fucking naive. Like I have to be reminded that some people don't just go blah. Julie says, "I'm so happy to have found a space that isn't bro marketing." Same. And if I hear another bro saying, "You know what? I'm going to increase my productivity by waking up at 5 a.m., doing my miracle morning routine," like, fuck off. You and your bullet coffee. Fuck off. I am not waking up that early. I'm exhausted. I need my solid 9 hours of sleep. And also I have children to care for, and that is my priority. So many of the bros, like, they're either single, or if they're not single, they obviously have their wives doing 95% of, housekeeping and parenting and all that stuff. Tish Lee says, "I joined the academy yesterday. Thrilled to be a part of it." And hey, that's my friend Jennifer Burke. I see you popped up. Oh, I love it. I love when community just comes together, right? At the Hearts in a Business conference, a beautiful lady came up to give me a hug, and she's like, "Oh, I think you might be mates with my neighbor as well." And she said her neighbors, and I was like, "Yeah, that's like one of my best friends in the whole entire world." And she's like, "Oh yeah, I just live down the road from her." I'm like, "Oh my God." And then she got to go, and so I got to text my best mate a photo of her with her neighbor, of me with her neighbor. And she's like, "Is that my neighbor with you?" Yeah. Yeah. I love when like fun and communion and connection happens like that. Satora says, "I've heard you say create something, then share it. I've created many things, but stopped sharing. It feels like a big hump to get over it. Do you have any tips how to start sharing and keep it up?" Yes. Yes, I do. What is one thing that you could do today just to share a little bit? Just one little piece. And what can you do to get into the habit of pressing publish every single day? And by pressing publish every single day, just sharing a little piece, just a little snippet, whether it's a photo or some words, or a part of your book that you're writing, or a piece of art that you're making, or a page in your journal, or whatever. Like, what's one little thing that you could start sharing? And start doing that each day, and saying, "Okay, my job for the next while is start." It's like micro movements and a little bit of pacing and a little bit of like just getting into the habit of sharing again in ways that feel attainable for now. And then as you build that muscle, you'll be able to share bigger pieces and more. And if that feels enormously terrifying for you right now, and sometimes when we've been in trauma situations that can, that might be something that you need to take into therapy or energy healing or whatever. I had a really powerful session with Kerry Rowett this week, because I want to grow my business again. I've been hanging out at, the $1 million mark for a few years now. And I have grown bigger than that, but that was with a larger team. And I really want to grow again, but in a different way than I've done before. And I've been frustrated when I can't see the results happening like ASAP. And I did a session with her, and realized that as much as there's a part of me that does want to grow, there's a part of me that also feels very scared of doing that because I've previously made an energy commitment to be a little bit to share in a way that was only no, what's the right word for this? For me personally, $1 million a year business is a safe thing for me. I've been here for a lot of years now, and it's a safe space for me to hang out. And of course, that number and how visible you feel is completely different to everyone else. Like to everyone else, this is just the energetic limit that I'm at. And so when I look at, okay, having a $2 million a year business with a small micro team, there's a part of me, there's parts of myself that feel very afraid of that, because when I've done it before, I found it really challenging. I found it really challenging having a large team, and there were parts I didn't like about having as much of a public figure. And so there was kind of like a soul contract that I made with myself a number of years ago to keep myself and my family safe by kind of putting a little bit of an energetic limit on my business. And so now I have to kind of unwind that commitment to myself and work out a way that I can still keep myself feeling safe and, feel like I'm still a present mum and not get myself into a situation that I don't want to be in, and still expand anyway. So it's going to take some work for me to do that on the inside, and then I'll see the outward results. So yeah, I would recommend starting with start sharing, getting into that habit. If you notice you're having a trauma response to it, that's something to take to therapy or energy healing and seeing what kind of subconscious stuff is coming up for you. Tish says, oh my God, yeah, fuck that at 5 a.m. stuff. Yeah. It's like for me, it's 7 a.m. when forced to, but usually like my body clock's an 8 a.m. rise. Stacey said, I already signed up for the Academy last night. I'm just here for the vibes. I'm thrilled you're here. I would say most of the people who are on this live stream are people who already signed up for the Academy, which is super exciting and super thrilling. And I like doing these live streams during launch weeks and stuff like that. One, of course, to remind people who haven't heard about the Academy yet to fucking sign up, but also because it's just such a nice way to hang out with people who have joined up as well. So if you've got questions about what courses you should do in the Academy, all that kind of stuff, please ask me here as well. Tori says, according to bro marketers, you can become a millionaire by jumping headfirst into ice cold water at 4 a.m. every day. No, that is only going to happen if I have been awake still. But even then, no, that's even 4 a.m. is an untouchable hour for me, okay? It's an untouchable hour. Last time I was awake at 4 a.m. was breastfeeding babies. And the cold water thing, no thank you. I get that a lot of people find that life-changing. As a person with autism, that is hell on earth to me. No thank you. And I have found, and maybe other people who are neurodivergent find the same thing, but my body doesn't react in the same chemical way that other people does with the same stimulus. So, for example, when people say they get the endorphin rush after exercise or whatever? No. I feel fucking disgusting. I hate it. Fucking hate it. Fucking hate it. And I went to a retreat where we were alternating going in a sauna and then going in a cold plunge pool. I could not have hated it more, guys. Could not have hated it more. Just the change in sensations that really fucked me up. So, no thank you. No thank you. Okay. Kate said, I'm an art therapist and somatic educator. I just signed up for the Academy again after a 5-year break. So excited. You really helped my business at the beginning. I'm wondering where you recommend restarting, feeling a bit overwhelmed by the amount of content on the Academy? Big question. One, welcome back. I'm so thrilled to have you, and I'm so glad that I helped you at the start of your business, and I'm thrilled that I get to help you where you are in your business to take it to the next level as well. Now, here's the thing that I always remind people about the Academy. One, you do not have to do all the things in the Academy in order for it to work for you and for it to be successful. That is not the point of the Academy. The point of the Academy is like, here are all the resources you could possibly need if you get yourself in a situation where you need those. So if you're like, I need to create and sell an e-course, you have the program for it. If you need to really get your money and multiple streams of income sorted, the money course is for you. If you want to write and finish a book, the book course is for you. And like, that's how we want to approach it. It's just a menu that you select from when you need it. Now, in terms of where you're starting, if you don't have a specific thing in mind just yet that you need to get from the Academy, I always recommend that you start with Sales Star, because that is a foundational business practice. It is a very critical business skill for you to master that is going to help you exponentially in the rest of your business journey and with everything else that you do in the Academy as well. Sales Star, Sales Star, Sales Star. But only do Sales Star if you want to make more money. If you don't want to make more money, don't bother. Fiona says, I needed to hear that about gently building your sharing muscle, Leonie. Thank you. Oh, my love. And like, you know, especially you have been in a world of caretaking for, you know, years. And so that's where your energy has been going. And you've done such incredible soul work on that level to do that. And so it's just like reawakening that muscle again and just slowly reintroducing that into your life. Angela says, I've been procrastinating over joining the Academy since I don't have a business. Plus, I'm living in a tiny, did I say, temporary space while waiting to move into my new house next month. But I've been pondering the idea of starting something new. I would, and I'm not biased here, but it's totally okay for you to be in a tiny space because it all lives in your computer. It's there. It's a support for you. We are also going to have a new Academy course coming out as well about how to choose when you don't know what to choose. Like, you know, what course, like what business that you do want to start. So it helps on that level. Plus, there's just so many other incredible resources that'll help on every front. So I would recommend joining anyway, because I genuinely don't know when I'm going to be opening it again, because I'm not a planner. I am genuinely not a planner. And I'm also somebody who just totally follows where the inspiration takes. So I don't know if I'm going to pause like doing more Academy members. I'm going to be always running the Academy. Like, I'm always like, that is definitely like, it's going to be a core offering going forward. But if I decide that I'm like, oh, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of the year, I may not open it again until next year. It may be something that also just helps you like reawaken the dreaming muscle as well. But totally up to you. And if there's something else that's going to work much better for you, do that. Julie says, I love the body doubling sessions you had ages ago. Will that come back to the Academy? Yes, we are already doing those with the business basics workshops. So if you join the business basics workshops, even if you don't need to do the particular topic that we're doing every month, and then what we do is we leave the room open for people to finish off the task. And some people are working on the specific task from the business basics workshop, like, you know, starting your website, starting your mailing list, creating a lead magnet, all that kind of stuff. And some people are just working on another project completely, and they're just using it to co-work with other people, which is also super cool. Jess says, any suggestions for those at a huge crossroads in their life, wanting to start a creative business, but also trying so hard to escape the daily grind of corporate life? Yeah. So I say this as somebody that is exactly what I did at the start of my business. And I personally am of the belief that it is useful to keep your corporate business, corporate or office job, while you build your business on the side, and using it as like an early investor in your business. The thing that um, gives you cash while you explore and play around with different business models and how you want to do it. It takes an enormous amount of pressure off if you still have income coming in as you grow your business. For me, I worked for the Australian government as the editor of business.gov.au, and I was there for years as I built my business up on the side. And I regard it as just like this very joyful, creative playtime. I got to learn really valuable skills while I was in that job. It gave me a whole lot of freedom and space for me to be able to build my business up on the side. I started just doing it on nights and weekends. Eventually, when I started getting traction, I reduced down to 4 days a week and then eventually 3 days a week. And the blessing of doing it that way as well means that I didn't um, it doesn't take me full-time hours in order to run my business. I've never had the luxury of full-time hours to run my business. And so I got really good at working out, okay, what's the most essential thing for me to do right now to grow my business? And everything else is just going to have to go fuck itself because it's not that important. So um, I think it can be enormously useful. And so your job right now is just to start going, okay, well, what can I do this week to start a creative business? What would that look like? Giving yourself little mini goals. If you're in a job that's like completely like draining you emotionally or physically or both, it may be useful to look for a more a better fit for you, if at all possible, that doesn't drain you as much. If you can somewhat try to enjoy going to work and not feel like fucking shit, um, that could be really useful just to save some of the energy. And also looking at places that where you could potentially, you know, have more flexibility and eventually migrate down to less hours, can be useful as well. So lots of things to think about, and it doesn't have to be one or the other. Kristen says, I don't have a business idea, but would like to. Is the academy still for me? Yeah, I think you're going to find it really useful. And the new workshop's going to be really useful for you as well. Kat says, do you share your process for content marketing, like tech tools, etc.? Yes, I can answer any questions on that front. Yes, we have a new business basics workshop coming out next month about choosing your the different tech that you might need. And if you also go to leoniedawson.com/tools, then I go through a lot of things that I use as well. Mel says, I feel like I found my people. I'm late diagnosed ADHD with ADHD, hubby, and 2 kids. It's like herding cats trying to fit in and dampen my quirks. I have a unicorn hat and have just joined the academy. You absolutely have found your people. It is us. It is us. The people who are herding cats. And ways, we're finding out ways that we can still thrive and enjoy life. And make businesses and lives that work for us, even if it looks different to other people's. Tori says, I'll say I'm autistic. My body cannot handle being cold or hot. I'd probably get hypothermia if I tried to follow bro marketers. Yes. Like for me, I have a cardigan in my bag 100% of the time. If I'm not wearing it, it's in my bag 100% of the time, because if I if I feel the slightest breeze on my skin, even in the middle of Australian summers, Queensland summers, That bitch is going to have a cardigan on. If I have to go into an air-conditioned place, cardigan. Cardigan life is for me. Rebecca said, have you always known that you would have a million or multi-million dollar business? No, absolutely not. Fuck no. Not until I actually had one that I was like, oh, holy shit, I did it. All I really wanted, all I ever really wanted was I wanted to do something creative. I'd like to have a creative business, and I wanted to be able to be a present mum to my kids. And so if I could have flexibility around that, awesome. But the $1 million thing was just a byproduct of that goal, you know? Julie says, I'm in the academy, and I'd say yes to the people who are asking whether the academy is for them or not. So that's really nice. Amanda says, I just signed up. I can't wait to jump in. Oh, I'm so excited. So excited. Stacey says, hi, Mel. That's my mini bulldog girl's names. I'm so happy you're here as another late diagnosed person. I love when dogs or cats have like really human names. It really thrills me. Really thrills me. Like, could you imagine if you had a dog called like Louise or Cheryl? Like, just there's an old blogger, Sea of Shoes, and she had a, I don't know if she still has it because this is a long time ago, but she had a chihuahua called Kim. It's just so great. Could you imagine yelling at Kim? We also used to live next to a guy who was a dickhead, by the way, but his dog was named Pancakes, and I also found that quite amusing. The dog was a fucking moron, but yes, at least it had a cute name. Nancy says, what video platform do you use for your Kajabi courses? Oh, Kajabi, like you can upload all your videos into there. So that's the platform I use. In terms of recording the videos, sometimes I make them using Zoom. They're just straight up Zoom recordings, like, and they have slides, you know, share the slides, share the screen on there. Sometimes there's StreamYard, which is the software I'm using at the moment, which streams to multiple channels at a time. It's not essential, but I do quite like it. And sometimes this is the way I used to do it, but I'm increasingly not really using this method, but I used Camtasia to record videos as well. But Camtasia, I think, is kind of getting old and clunky. And I have noticed that Canva enables you to record your workshops in there now using like the presentations that you build in there. So fucking cool. So I've actually started using that to record some stuff as well. So super cool. Where can I purchase the workbooks from, please? If you're in the academy, you get the digital downloads for free. Otherwise, you can just find them on Amazon. Leonie Dawson Goal Workbooks. They're called My Brilliant Year Goal Workbooks. That's the latest edition. TLC says, I'm not sure how the course works functionally. If it is up to me to show up without a schedule, I'll probably let myself down. Any insight, I'd be grateful. That's a really good point. Some people like need a lot of structure in order to feel like they turn up. So for us, we have one, all of the courses are available for you to use at any time that you like. We also have 3 times a month, we have scheduled workshops, at least 3 times a month. We have scheduled workshops that you can turn up to. So we've got monthly coaching, like we're doing, and people ask me a whole bunch of questions. We have the new business basics workshops that I run, and that is like takes you through the process of like setting up another part of your business. And then we also have 1 or 2 guest expert workshops live as well. So if you thrive under the live elements, then those would be the parts of it. So it's nearly every week we have something in the academy that's live as well. Facebook user, you're probably in the group, so I can't see your name because it's private. But I've been offering one-to-one services, editing and book coaching for years, word of mouth only. I'm moving online. I have ideas for online courses, a membership, looking to book new one-to-one clients too. I've got so many plans, but no mailing list yet. My goal is to make money ASAP. Do you have advice on what I should start or launch first? Yes. Okay. So the easiest place to start, if you need cash inflow ASAP, is to reach out to all your existing clients and say, hey, I've got space available for new clients. If you've got any projects that I could help with, please let me know. Or if you know of anyone that needs my services, if you could share about me with them, I would be just so super grateful. So start with what you have with your existing clients to kind of expedite that word of mouth process. The next stage is, if you don't have a website yet, you need to have a website. In the academy, there's the business basics workshop of create your website, and I encourage people to have their website done within 24 hours. It's absolutely doable. I had a lot of people in that workshop create it in a very short period of time. So that would be helpful for you as well. And sales start, because I would like to see you really increase your sales and marketing skills and really take it to the next level, because it sounds like people have been selling for you instead of you really properly marketing yourself. That will be enormously useful. Once you've got those things done, then you can move on to 40 days to create and sell your online course. But I think you need to get the foundations done of extending that word of mouth, bringing in that cash inflow, increasing your sales and marketing, make sure you get a website and mailing list set up, that kind of stuff. 4D therapy. I know you told me your name last time. I can't remember what it was. Was it Ali? We had Ali on there. We had another. You also have a name. I know this to be true. I purchased a URL. I loaded a theme for my website. I investigated LMS business, settled on Learn World to build a small freebie lead course in. I'm having so much fun. Fuck yeah. I love this. I love this. I love seeing people get momentum. Honestly, it just makes me want to jizz in my pants. If that's what I would do, just fucking all day long. And even just like my friends in real life, they're like, Leonie is the bossy person that helps you take action. I was over at one of my dearest friends' houses, and she introduced me to her roommate. And her roommate was like, "Oh yeah, I really like tattoos." And I was like, "Oh, did you want to be a tattoo artist?" And she's like, "Oh, well, yeah, but that's all long down the track kind of dream. It's a far off goal. I don't know if I'll ever be able to do it." And my dear friend was like, "Oh no, you have told the wrong person. Leonie is going to be after you until you've achieved that goal." Like, she's just going to be like, "What do you want to do now? Let's break it down into micro steps. What can we do this week to help you achieve your goal?" So it's me. Hi, I'm just like the really bossy friend who loves to see people like make big action on their goals. Sarah says, hi, I just joined the academy this morning. Oh, my love, I'm thrilled for you. I'm so, so grateful, so excited. And I can't wait to serve you and delight you with what's in there. Zeta, my assistant, is being enormously helpful and has put in the comments, leoniedawson.com/tools, if you want to check out what software programs I use. She is also big noting herself. Look at me go, such a good assistant. You are. Pat on the head. Pat on the head. I shared Zeta a meme this morning about how, like, it was just a joke about how some guy got reported to HR for making up nicknames for all of his employees, and he's been told that that's not appropriate. And he thinks fuckity McFuckface can go fuck himself. I shared it with Zeta, and Zeta was like, well, joke's on them, because our HR doesn't care, and our HR in our team is Zeta. And also the funniest part is that, like, in that chat we have nicknames for each other, and they're god awful. So Zeta's is called Satan's sperm. we Oh, yeah. And then, like, the one like, my nickname currently is Boss of the Year, except May 2023, because at one point, Zeta and, Lydia had to say to me, "Hey, Leonie, you're actually being a bit of a pain in the ass at the moment. Could you back off and go, like, go get some therapy?" And I was like, "Fair call, guys, fair call." So I changed my own name to be Boss of the Year, except this month. We just troll ourselves in our work group. It's the greatest. Okay. Leanne says, "Love that. I'm always good at herding cats. The total gift of being able to be okay in chaos that can be part of the ADHD journey. I was only diagnosed in 2022." I genuinely feel like there has been such a awakening of the ADHD consciousness since the pandemic, and also from TikTok as well. I think TikTok really helped a lot of people recognize those traits within themselves. For me, I was diagnosed as quite a few years ago. I can't remember. It's when I got my formal autism diagnosis anyway, and she was like, "Oh yeah, you definitely have it. Oh, by the way, you probably have ADHD too." And I was like, "Oh, really?" I was surprised. Can you believe it? I was fucking surprised. Now knowing like what I know now, I was like, why didn't I not always? It's very fucking obvious, especially when you see people on TikTok who like share the traits of ADHD, and you're like, uh huh. Why are you personally attacking me with this information? Mel says, "My friend has a cat called Barista Ian." I love that. I fucking love that. And I love it in the show, the middle, just like that basic bitch American like family. But there's a dog that they foster for a while called Colin Firth. I so want to have an animal called Colin Firth. What he says, Shirley or Darren as animal names. How good would that be? My therapist's dog's name is Rhonda. Could you even imagine? Could you even imagine? And like my dogs, like I had one called Charlie, which is kind of a human's name. It just is not like it's obviously a very accepted, like a very common human's name. But then and then our other dog was she came with her name and it's Angel, which is not a very common animal name, but she would definitely like we've had people say she's not an angel. She's more like, I don't know, like a Fifi or something, just somebody who's just missing a few chromosomes. And it's true. It's true. Leanne says, "So far I haven't done any of the academic courses. A value for me is spending time in the space of people who think like I do, finding your aligned weird peeps." Exactly. And I love that, I've started running the academy in 2010, which is a million billion years ago. Ran it for 9 years, and then took a 4-year break, to try new things, and then last year I was like, "Oh, no, I really miss the academy. I think it's time to bring that back, reawaken it," and, I created brand new courses and everything to go in it. But the best thing that I get is people saying, "Oh, yeah, I found my best friend in the academy. Oh, I found, my business partner in the academy," or, "This person's been my writing partner for, like, 8 years now, and I found them in the academy." It's just bringing together these beautiful humans. Um, there's just so much value in that as well. Shell says, "Hello from Seattle. I'm loving your academy. I waited so long to join. I'm so happy to be here. I heard cats all day. I'm a stay-at-home mum. My daughter has autism. I love your words and content." My love, I'm so thrilled you're here. You're in just the right space and just the right company. Leanne says, "I haven't noticed the update from Canva for recording." Yeah, it's a fairly new update. They are incredible. Like I cannot wait for the day that Canva will be able to do absolutely every single thing that the Adobe Suite does. At the moment, it has taken over like 99% of what I usually do in Photoshop. Um, And InDesign, it's not at the point yet where I'd be able to like do my entire workbooks in there yet, unfortunately. But I can't wait for the fucking day. Can't wait. And then I can go Adobe. Katrina says, is your business academy more suited to those already in business, or is it also suited or something there for those just starting out? Yeah, totally there for people who are starting out as well. Leanne says, there's so many inexpensive and easy to use and build website platforms. Get started. And then if you want something more complex, then earn first so you can pay for someone to do it. Yes. Yes. And that's why, the business basics workshop of create your website, you get it done because there's so many incredible platforms. And I just give you exactly like what you need to do in order to do like the most simple version that you can build on later, because it can be a huge mental block. People are like, oh, well, I've got to do my website. It's going to take months or whatever, years. And they just think about it for so long when it could just be fucking done already. Zeta says, Zayton sperm reporting for duty. Yes, girl. Yes, girl. Oh my God, Zayton sperm boss, except this month. Yeah, and like another one of our assistants is called hired by Leonie 687 times. Because it's true, because like I've never actually fired her. Like I'll bring her in for different projects and stuff like that. And then when the project ends or whatever, she's like, okay, cool, I'll get back to doing my other things. And then like a month later, I'm like, actually, I need you again. We're actually not surviving without you, dolls. Janet says, sign up today. I'm so excited. Yes, 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 yes. I'm so thrilled you're here. Just makes my heart so happy, because I'm like, oh my God, now I can just like pour all of the love upon you, like all I'm looking for is just a nominal like investment for people to go, yes, I'm in. I'm like, oh, thank fuck. Now I can just give you all the things, all the fucking things. Mim says, it's super hard and expensive to get a diagnosis in Australia now. My family member is struggling too. Oh, I'm so sorry. And yes, absolutely right. It is very difficult and very expensive, and really challenging. The person who diagnosed me with autism said that this is where self-diagnosis is super valid. But of course, if you need medication for ADHD or whatever, or if you need funding through the NDIS, then you need a diagnosis, right? And that you can get like an 18-month long wait list, and it's like $4,000 fucking dollars to get it. It's fucking bullshit. Zeta says, I got my autism assessment and diagnosis last year at nearly $2,000 out of pocket. Yeesh. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Tish says, my dog's name is Gary Laser Eyes. He has crossed eyes and an underbite. When we adopted him from the Humane Society, they were calling him Gary Laser Eyes. I get that name. I am just picturing, is it like a little like Lhasa Apso or Shih Tzu, like that kind of situation. Leanne says our fur grandbabies are Morty and Charlie, Shih Tzu poodles, Jessie and Wilma, English Stuffies, and Cleveland and American Stuffy. Those are gold names. I love that. That makes me really happy. As a long-diagnosed dyslexic and undiagnosed ADHD woman, I was shocked to discover how many women are diagnosed ADHD once perimenopause hits. A change in hormones uncovers divergent traits. Yo. Can't wait to experience that. And also, my psychiatrist that diagnosed the ADHD said that usually your coping mechanisms break when you get to parenting as well, because kills any executive functioning and systems that you did have to get by. And so it's very, very normal for people with ADHD to mask until they have children and then experience postnatal depression and anxiety and diagnosed with that instead of recognizing the actual cause of the depression and anxiety is because the ADHD symptoms go off the chart. So that was definitely the case for me. I was pretty groovy, never experienced anxiety in my life until I had children, and it fucked my executive functioning. And sometimes I still do stupid shit. Like I emailed a business friend of mine going, oh, by the way, am I supposed to send you an invoice for like a speaker's fee for this thing that I was going to do? And she was like, I'm so confused because you told me that you wanted to do it for free. And I was like, of course I fucking did. I don't remember the conversation whatsoever, but I absolutely think that would 100% something I would do. 100%, and cannot remember it now. And then I was like, no, am I supposed to send an invoice for it? Oh no, I forgot. I said it would be free. Idiot. Somebody says, I found an email invite for the Shiny Academy from 2014. Yeah, right? A decade later, still the same thing. I just like sharing all the shit. I found my bestie Carol Lee in the Academy. She's in the UK. I'm in Australia. I love her dearly. That thrills me so much. It thrills me. I was going to ask what system the planners are made in, Canva or Adobe. I'm thinking of promoting and selling my planners too. Currently, I built them in Adobe InDesign because that was the only one that did it at that point in time. You know, I've been doing this for 14 years. Jesus Christ. And I think at the moment, I should check. Canva wasn't doing documents of that size, but I would fucking love to design them in Canva instead. Adobe is the most bloated piece of shit in all of history. I love Canva. I'm such a raging fan. And it makes me so happy that the founders of Canva are Australian, and one of them is a female, and she became Australia's youngest female billionaire, I think, from doing Canva. I'm like, fuck yeah, you deserve it all for all of the goodness you do. And there was a really interesting article about the philanthropic stuff of what she's doing with those funds as well. So cool. Sloan says, on the Facebook user book coach you just gave advice to, you're so right about not having experience doing my own selling. Thank you for that hard look at myself. Lols, I'm clearly in the right space. You are. And also, yeah, sorry, I'm blunt about it, but also I'm always going to be blunt about things. I'll just be like, no, that's why the issue is. Go fix that. It'll make you more money. Yay. Leah says, is the Academy useful if I don't know exactly what business I want to do yet? Yes, absolutely. Zita, because you're listening, would you be able to book me in for a workshop, for a live workshop next month about what to just, what kind of business to do? Just because obviously there's quite a few people here who want that ASAP. So we'll just get that done next month. Rebecca says, I joined the Academy today. I feel like I know a lot that I need to do for my vision, but I'm hoping to get accountability and support. We are here for that, my queen. We are here for that. Leah says, I just finished browsing the Academy website. I didn't even know you were having a live. Yeah, I just, I'm here. I didn't like pre-schedule when they were going to go. I just thought whenever I feel up to it this week, I'll do them. And whoever makes it here, cool. Rita says, how much is the Academy in Aussie dollars, please? Okay, it is $99 in US dollars. And I have to charge in US dollars because most of my people come from the US. Most of my customers come from the US. So I'm going to go to xe.com to do the currency conversion. It won't be exact, but it's $143 for it. Tara says, I just watched your Academy video. I'd love to know where you got those amazing dresses. Oh, bless you. One of them is a Camilla, and that was borrowed. So I filmed that at the Noosa Valley Manor Airbnb. Renata and Roberta Luca owned that, and they're just the most beautiful humans on the planet. And Roberta sort of wandered in, and she's like, "Oh, darling, like, did you want to use my Camilla?" And it was her fucking wedding dress. Like, she just the most beautiful human on earth. And I was like, oh my God, yes, please, if I could use that for a couple of the shots. So that, like the white, there was kind of like a creamy kind of one that I wore. That was her Camilla. And I just feel so blessed to wear that. The rest of my dresses I bought from, they're either Lula Soul, Lula Life, or Ruby Yaya. Those are all Australian brands. They're a lot cheaper than a Camilla dress. I just like colorful, soft things. So that's where I got those from. Oh my God, Gary Laser Eyes is not little. He's an 80-pound lab boxer mix. Can you imagine with an underbite and crossed eyes? It makes me scream. I want to know when Leonie got the amazing glasses. Oh, thank you so much. Now, the brand on these, I always forget, and then I can't read them because I don't have my glasses on. These are Etnia, Etnia, from Barcelona. And I live near Pridgeon Beach, and there's an optometrist in Pridgeon Beach that has just really fucking kooky glasses in there. So I got them from there. And I love them. And I also have a really beautiful pair. I can't remember the name of the brand, but colorful shit, I'm all over. Okay. Melanie Perkins has a net worth of 3.6 billion US dollars. I can't wait till she's got a net worth of $4 billion, $5 billion. I will just throw all the money at Canva if it means I can move over from Adobe. I just feel like I can, it's just like such a creative studio, really. Like, and you can make videos in there now. We're starting to do most of our video editing in there now. Amazing. And then I do all my presentations in there now instead of Google Slides, and you can make them look so much fucking cooler. Did you guys see the slides I did for the how to deal with trolls and criticism in your business? I thought I fucking nailed that, guys. With the dinosaur. Wow. 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 Bear Made of Market says his face makes me so happy. You're so awesome and joyous. Oh, my love. Thank you. Look at me. I'm so young and hip. I am. Thank you for recognizing that. And so are you, and that's why you like being here. Zeta, my very helpful assistant, has enthusiastically agreed to block that in the calendar for me. Guys, get the kind of support that's like, oh, God, I wanted to do something. Sure. I do want you to know that's like her external personality. On the internal, she's actually doing all the fucking things behind the scenes. She just doesn't want to show it. I'm sorry, Zeta. I know that's your big secret. I won't tell anyone. You're actually the fastest and most gifted assistant I've ever come across, and very hardworking. But yeah, fuck you, Chaos Goblin. I get it. It's like having an emo kid as your assistant. You have to learn how to work with their personalities. And also, like, Zeta is very open about this, but like when I ask her to do things, I try and put it in like I try not to say it in a bossy way because like she'll be like, tell me what to do, but you are my boss, so I guess I will. So if I can like finagle it in a way that's like, hey, what if, maybe, but up to you completely. Works so much better. Sorry for exposing all your secrets. You can take that to therapy, Zeta. Hey, Louise says, I am excited about the business clarity workshop. Didn't I say that I couldn't remember your name? And then I talked about a dog named Louise? Is that like me subconsciously knowing your name? I'm not saying you're a dog. I'm just saying like, oh, a human name like Louise. Gifted. It was in there somewhere. Okay, I'm excited about the business clarity workshop. I've got 1 million business ideas. I'm focusing on one idea and we'll bring in other ideas to amalgamate later. Yes, good work. And the thing to recognize as well is like you can do all the things, but you just have to get the one thing done first. First. Stacey says, I'm an American, but my part-time boss, Kim Gold, is an Australian. Almost 50% of my friends are Aussie, and now I'm finally in with you. I feel like an honorary Aussie. You will be swearing like a motherfucker in no time. We will have initiated you into the Australian linguistics. I got a little sticker shock when I went to Camilla in Sydney when I was there last week, but they do have one here in California for when I'm ready. Yeah, like I just bought my first Camilla a couple of months ago and it still makes me feel like this in the inside. I've never spent that amount of money, not even on my wedding dress. But it's an interesting experiment for me to see how comfortable I can get with that kind of stuff. Allison says, I'm wondering about the monthly chats. When do you have them usually? I'm in the US, so wondering about time differences. Absolutely. So because the majority of my audience is in America or in England, I do it at a time that is not super enjoyable for me, but it's really great for you guys. So I do them at usually 6:30 in the morning, Australian time. My Australian clients is only about 10% are Australians, but a lot of them have said, look, I don't get up for any other calls that early, but I will do it for your calls because they're that worth it. I'm like, thank you so much. And if they just dial in from bed, I'm very happy with that because it's like I'm going to be wearing my pajamas anyway. Solid. So 6:30 in the morning is usually, off the top of my head, don't quote me on this, we usually have it in the academy when those times are. It's usually like 1:30 p.m. US Pacific time or 4:30 p.m. New York time. And for English people, it's a little bit trickier, but because the time zone difference between the UK and Australia is tricky, so it's usually around the 9 p.m.-ish mark. It's the only time of the day that basically works where I can hit all three of those centers. Leanne says, sounds like I need to dive into the student area of Canva and find out how to use the editing. It's really fucking cool. Rita says, I did your write a book in 40 days course a couple of years ago, then lost the books I wrote as I hadn't backed up my notes. I wouldn't make that mistake again. Please do not use something like Google Drive because then it just won't get lost. It just won't. Zeta says, new course idea, what to do when you have a reluctant assistant. I think it's helpful just to know about the 4 tendencies and also like neurotypes and any ways of looking at it really. But then as well, like, you know, I'm very open and honest about the fact that I only like working with neurodivergent people now because neurotypical people, I drive them insane, they drive me insane. So I can pretty much work with neurodivergence because we speak the same language. And so I'm happy to work around like, you know, the idiosyncrasies. And I'm also grateful that, you know, Zeta and Lydia and Tam, when she comes in to do stuff for us as well, you're all like kind of happy to work around my stuff as well. And you'll also say like, oh no, this is where I can't because of this reason. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, well, we'll work out a solution to that. So because it feels such as like a healthy collaboration, yeah, it's easy to work around each other. Kat says, I'm looking for accountability. Do you think this is the right place to keep me on track to get the work done? I know what I need to do, but I faff about too much. Firstly, yeah, we have like nearly live workshops in the academy that you can use to get your shit done. A lot of people will even go through all of my monthly group coaching calls in order to just listen to them, like because there's years and years of them, because it helps them to body double. If you're specifically looking for something that you can body double with any time, there are a few really interesting resources out there, and some of them are free that you can join, like Zoom study halls all day. They're open pretty much 24 hours a day. I'm not going to be able to open a 24-hour a day, Zoom accountability group because that's not my business model. But we do have a lot of accountability built in. Otherwise, check out those accountability Zoom rooms and see if that works. Granny says, my coworker made a bunch of Disney mouse ear magnets for her upcoming Alaska cruise in Canberra. They look really cool. Oh, holy shit, that's amazing. Zeta, my assistant, says, stop exposing me, bitch. I'm very mysterious. I totally don't care at all. Sorry, this is a different Zeta I work with, who's a total pushover. Not you, though. You're a majestic wild stallion that could never be controlled. Somebody says, I really want to have a Google Chrome plugin that is a Leonie pop-up spontaneously during the day in the corner with a clip saying things like, babes, you got this, or fuck that, time for a cuppa, or I believe in you, and so do the unicorns. Just a thought. Zeta, could you I mean this for like not Zeta the rebel who's totally mysterious and doesn't get told what to do, but the other Zeta, would you be able to chuck that in the Asana template of possible ideas for the future? It is under like company goals, I think, something like that. Vera says, thanks for being who you are. I'm daydreaming about someday offering NLP sessions and astrology sessions, but I don't know if I have a business bone in my body. Are your talents contagious? Yes, they are. And I also want you to know that I was not born with any business bone in my body either, or marketing or money like bones or whatsoever. A fucking numpty on all that front. Also very challenging for me to learn how to drive a car. Because I had like off with the fairy moments and the car would veer off into the cane paddocks. Luckily, I grew up in a country area, right? Isn't it surprising that nobody picked up that I had ADHD? Is it? Is it? Anyway, so it was all definitely stuff that I had to learn for myself. And build those skills because it was not something that I was born with. But I wanted to do my thing that I love, which is the creativity and sharing. And I wanted to be able to have money from it so I could live. And so I learned all the stuff. So I can definitely teach you how to do it. But only if you want to earn money and do the thing that you really love. I was thinking last night, getting an accountability group, Kat. Maybe I could post in the group and create a mini group for 6 or so to share goals, stories, and share together. Absolutely. This is what I'm always encouraging people to do. Look in the Academy forums, either the social media one or like our non-social media one, and look for an accountability buddy or accountability group. Sita says, thank you. I feel so seen. Yes, you majestic stallion. I see you running off into the distance, fighting and pig rooting away because you will be tamed by no one. I understand that. And Zeta, the assistant, is listening and taking notes. I appreciate you. Thank you for knowing that there are 2 Zetas that work for me. Karen says, thank you. You two crack me up. We crack each other up, honestly. I think that's what we do. I think that's what we really do. Like, and even Zeta will say to me, hey, I'm going to post something on your stories. And it's quite atrocious. Could I just run it by you first? Because I really don't want to hurt your feelings. And if it hurts your feelings, I 100% won't post it. And I'm like, give it to me. I appreciate it. She tells me, and I'm like, no, that's a fucking gold. You have to, because that is so funny. Because she likes to troll me on my own social media. It's so stupid. The best part was when I ran a how to like manage trolls and criticism in your own business workshop live a couple of days ago. Zeta decided to turn up and go, but what if the troll is actually your own assistant? And somebody didn't realize that Zeta was my assistant and responded to Zeta and said, you should fire that bitch. Ditch that bitch. And I have to clarify that Zeta is actually my assistant and she's fucking trolling me right now, but it's consensual trolling and it's actually very funny and that's what we're here for. Okay. Somebody said, I got in an accident 3 days after I got my license at 15. Question, do you have ADHD? My psychiatrist said, I said, is it safe for me to drive on the medication? And he said, please, 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 have the medication because it makes you highly less likely to have an accident. A very high proportion of car accidents are caused by unmedicated people with ADHD. Isn't that fun? What a fun little treat for us all. All right. Oh, my queens, this has been so much fun. I am also noticing that I'm starting to just lag a little bit. So I think it might be time for me to finish up this live stream. I might go have myself a cheeky little sandwich and just reconnect in with myself. I love you all. I'm so grateful that you're all here. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being majestic. Karen said that was me saying ditch that bitch. I totally knew it was you two. I was just doing the crazy. Oh my God, Karen, that makes it even funnier. Oh, I love that you read on the joke. Zena nearly went herself laughing, thinking that somebody was saying a poem. It makes me laugh. That makes me laugh so much. Thank you, Karen. Thank you. Thank you, my queen. It's gold. Okay. Zena said, oh my fucking God. So much. The fact that she said, I should ditch that bitch and she was still in use. I love our people. I really do. Just like taking our trolling jokes to the next level. It's so good. It's so fucking good. Oh, my queen. Jimmy, one last question. Do you listen to Pantera? No, I listen to James Taylor. I am like stuck in the 60s and the 70s folk rock. When I went to his concert, it was just me jamming out with all the other boomers, and it was the greatest. Okay, for those who haven't already, make sure you check out the Academy before we close because I think we've got like 32 more minutes before we close the sales page, close enrollments for the time being, and switch over to being waitlist again. But I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to be here. I'm thrilled to serve and thrilled to keep making stuff that can help you in all the different kinds of ways. I love you all. I support you all. I want you to all achieve your dreams. And the thing that I always say to people is that I genuinely don't feel like our goals and dreams and inspirations, that they're a selfish thing, that they're a thing that we just do for us. I genuinely believe that they are ideas from the angels, and the angels give them to us because they will help to heal the world in some way. And we need you. We need your dream. We need the thing that you want to put out into the world because it's going to help us, and that's what's needed in this planet. I'm sending you so much love. I hope you have the most blessed day.